The red emergency lights pulsed through the smoke-filled corridors of Mars Base Omega. Commander Kate Hudson stepped over another dead body, her boots leaving bloody footprints on the metal floor. The base's backup generators hummed in the distance, but otherwise the silence was complete. Too complete. Her tactical display showed 0 life signs across the entire facility. 20 minutes ago, she'd received a distress call from her squad. Now, they were all dead. Kate pressed her hand against the cold wall to steady herself. No, these weren't just soldiers. They were her people. She'd trained with them, lived with them, trusted them. Now their bodies lay scattered through the base like broken dolls. The main computer terminal flickered weakly as she approached. Kate pulled up the security feeds, but the screens showed only static. She tried accessing the base's logs, but file after file returned the same message: deleted. Someone was erasing everything. Her breath caught as she reached the medical bay. Inside, Chief Medical Officer Paul Wright lay slumped over his desk, blood pooling beneath him. His tablet was still clutched in his dying grip. "Paul," Kate whispered, gently taking the tablet. His fingers were still warm. The tablet's screen was cracked, but she could make out his final message. "They sent us here to die." Project E, the rest was unreadable, smeared with blood. A soft beeping drew her attention to Paul's other hand. In it was a small black device she'd never seen before. The beeping grew faster as she approached. "Commander Hudson," a weak voice called. Kate spun around. In the corner, partially hidden behind fallen equipment, lay Lieutenant Steve Martinez. Blood soaked his uniform, but his eyes were alert and focused. "Steve." Kate rushed to him, pulling out her medical kit. "Hold on, no time," he gasped, grabbing her arm. "They're coming to finish the job. The beacon ... had to activate it. Only way to trigger the failsafe." "What failsafe, Steve? Who did this?" "Our own people. High Command. They ... He coughed, blood speckling his lips. "They couldn't let us report what we found. The experiments. The children." The beeping from Paul's device suddenly changed pitch. "Run?" Steve whispered. His grip on her arm loosened. "I'll come for you next." The beacon wasn't calling for rescue. It was marking us all for termination. His eyes went blank. Kate's tactical display suddenly lit up with multiple incoming signals. Dropships heading straight for the base. But these weren't rescue vessels. Their transponders identified them as Black Ops strike teams. She looked at the dead faces around her, at the evidence being systematically erased, at the strike teams closing in. The truth hit her like a physical blow. Her own government had just murdered her entire squad, and now they were coming to tie up the last loose end. Her. The emergency lights continued their endless red pulse as Kate checked her weapon and calculated her odds. She had 5 minutes before the strike teams landed. 5 minutes to figure out how to survive being hunted by the very people she'd sworn to serve. 3 weeks after the Mars base massacre, Kate huddled in a basement safe house on Earth, watching rain streak down the grimy windows. Her military implants had been surgically removed, her identity erased. The woman who'd commanded Mars Base Omega was officially dead. Admiral Jack Morrison stood by the old metal desk, his weathered face illuminated by holographic displays. Even retired, he still carried himself like a fleet commander. "They're systematically eliminating anyone connected to Project Exile," Jack said, pulling up classified files. "Not just your squad. Scientists, administrators, test subjects, anyone who might know the truth." Kate studied the documents scrolling past. Personnel files, research data, military orders, all marked with the same classified stamp. How deep does this go? All the way to the top. Jack's fingers danced across the holographic interface. Project Exile wasn't just about creating better soldiers. They were trying to force human evolution. Security footage appeared, showing military subjects in testing chambers. Their movements were too fast, too precise, inhuman. They succeeded, Jack continued. But the enhanced soldiers turned on their creators. Now, they've infiltrated every level of Earth's military command. Kate's hands clenched. "That's why they killed my squad. We found evidence." "Worse." Jack pulled up more files. "Your team discovered they're planning something big." A complete takeover of the window exploded inward. Jack shoved Kate aside as gunfire ripped through the room. She rolled behind a concrete pillar, drawing her weapon. 3 black-clad figures rappelled through the broken window. Their movements were fluid, perfect, enhanced soldiers. Kate fired, but they dodged with impossible speed. Jack slapped a device on the computer core. "Get to the tunnel. I'll wipe the data." Kate sprinted for the hidden exit as Jack provided covering fire. She heard him grunt in pain, but didn't look back. The tunnel entrance slid open, revealing a dark passage. "Jack, come on, almost done." He was clutching his side, blood seeping between his fingers. The enhanced soldiers advanced with mechanical precision. Kate raised her gun to cover him. Jack finished the data wipe and staggered toward her. "Kate, listen," he gasped. "Project Exile wasn't meant to create soldiers. It was meant to save humanity from a single shot," rang out. Jack's eyes went wide. He touched the small red hole in his forehead, then collapsed. Kate screamed and emptied her clip at the enhanced soldiers. They moved like blurs, bullets passing harmlessly through where they'd been milliseconds before. She dove into the tunnel as grenades detonated behind her. The tunnel sealed automatically, leaving her in darkness. Kate ran, Jack's final words echoing in her mind. What was Project Exile really created to fight against? What threat was so terrible that they'd risk creating superhuman soldiers? She reached the tunnel's end and emerged into rain-soaked streets. Behind her, explosions rocked the safe house. Kate disappeared into the crowded city, knowing the enhanced soldiers would never stop hunting her. But now she had a new mission: discover what horror project Exile was truly meant to face before it was too late for everyone. The ice storms of Europa howled outside the hidden research facility. Kate followed Dr. Claire Martinez through frozen corridors lined with cryogenic pods. Each pod held a sleeping person, their faces young and peaceful despite decades in frozen sleep. These were the first test subjects, Claire explained, her breath visible in the cold air. The ones who survived the initial experiments. Kate stopped at one pod, wiping frost from its display. They're just kids. We all were. Claire's voice was bitter. The military chose children because their bodies adapted better to the enhancements. They reached a sealed door, marked Primary Research. Claire pressed her palm to the scanner. Inside, holographic displays filled the air with data and genetic sequences. Project Exile wasn't just about making soldiers stronger or faster, Claire said, bringing up classified files. It was about unlocking human potential. Pushing evolution forward by centuries, Kate studied the genetic models. But something went wrong. The enhancements worked too well. The subjects developed abilities we never expected. Some could process information at computer speeds. Others could manipulate energy fields. They became something beyond human. Warning lights suddenly flashed. Security alerts blared through the facility. "They found us," Kate said, checking her weapon. Claire grabbed a data core and tossed it to Kate. "Everything about Project Exile is in there, including why they're really hunting you." "What do you mean?" "Your memories were erased, Kate. You weren't just investigating Project Exile." Claire's eyes met hers. "You were part of it." The facility shook as explosions rocked the upper levels. Kate's hands trembled as fragments of buried memories surfaced. Needles, pain, voices telling her to be strong. "Why don't I remember?" "Because you were different from the others. Your enhancements stayed dormant, hidden. That's why they're so desperate to kill you. You're proof the program can succeed without creating monsters." More explosions. Closer now. Claire ran to a control panel and started entering commands. "The enhanced soldiers are coming to destroy everything," Claire said. "I can trigger the facility's self-destruct. Buy you time to escape with the data. Come with me." Claire smiled sadly. "I can't, because I'm the one who created Project Exile. Everything that went wrong, it's my fault. This is my chance to make it right." Kate stared at her. "You're one of them?" "I was the first." Claire's movements suddenly became fluid, inhuman, the prototype. "But I never lost my humanity like the others did. That's why I have to stop them." The facility rocked with another blast. Enhanced soldiers would breach the lower levels any second. "Go," Claire ordered. "Find out why they really started Project Exile. What they were preparing us to fight." Kate ran for the emergency exit as Claire began the self-destruct sequence. But as she reached the door, she felt something strange. Power surging through her body. Dormant abilities. Awakening. Her enhancements were finally activating, and now she had to choose. Embrace them to survive, or resist and stay human. The door slid open to reveal 3 enhanced soldiers waiting for her, weapons raised. Time slowed as Kate faced the enhanced soldiers. Her newly awakened abilities surged through her body, making everything around her seem to move in slow motion. She dodged their first shots before her conscious mind could process the movement. Her body responded with impossible speed, closing the distance between them in microseconds. The fight was brutal and fast. Kate moved with deadly precision she never knew she possessed, neutralizing all 3 soldiers before they could react. When it was over, she stared at her hands in shock. What am I becoming? Emergency alerts blared through the facility speakers. Warning. Multiple orbital strikes detected. Planetary defense grid compromised. Kate accessed a nearby terminal. Military bases across the solar system were going dark. The enhanced soldiers had launched their attack. Claire's voice came through her COM unit. Kate, the data core. Look at file 7. Kate plugged into core while Claire held off more soldiers in the background. The file opened to reveal a devastating truth. Earth's government had created Project Exile because they discovered something coming from deep space. Something that would arrive in less than a year. They needed enhanced humans to fight it, Claire said between bursts of gunfire. But the soldiers they created turned against them. Both sides are willing to destroy everything. The facility shook as orbital weapons fired from above. Kate's enhanced mind processed the tactical data streaming across screens. The enhanced soldiers weren't just taking over, they were activating something called Protocol Zero. What's Protocol Zero? Kate demanded. A last resort weapon, Claire gasped. It will trigger a chain reaction in the sun. They think destroying the solar system is better than letting it fall to the incoming threat. More explosions rocked the base. Kate's enhanced senses detected multiple strike teams converging on her position. The government has their own version, Claire continued. They call it the Purge Protocol. It will kill everyone with enhanced genes, but take half of humanity with them. Kate's mind raced at superhuman speed, calculating possibilities. How long? Hours, maybe less. Both sides are mobilizing their doomsday weapons. If 2 Claires come cut off as another explosion hit. Through the facility's cameras, Kate watched her friend fall under a wave of enhanced soldiers. Grief and rage fueled Kate's powers. She could feel her abilities growing stronger, changing her. But she could also feel her humanity slipping away with each passing second. The terminal displayed the full scope of the crisis. Enhanced soldiers attacking military installations, government forces preparing the Purge Protocol, 2 sides ready to destroy everything rather than lose. And somewhere out there, the mysterious threat that started it all was still coming. Kate made her decision. She would find other enhanced soldiers who hadn't lost their humanity. Build a team to stop both sides from destroying everything, and somehow prepare humanity for whatever was really coming. But first, she had to escape Europa. She pulled up the facility's schematics as more enemy forces breached the lower levels. Time to find out just how powerful she really was. The battle for Earth's orbital defense platform was chaos. Kate led her makeshift team, a mix of loyal soldiers and reformed enhanced humans, through the station's burning corridors. They had minutes before both doomsday weapons activated. Protocol Zero launching in 5 minutes, the station's AI announced. Purge Protocol launching in 7 minutes. Kate's enhanced senses tracked multiple firefights throughout the station. Government forces and enhanced soldiers killed each other while both sides raced to trigger their weapons. Sam, bypass their security, Kate ordered as they reached the main control room. John Mary, hold that entrance. Sam's fingers flew over the controls while Kate connected to the Station S systems through her neural interface. The enhanced soldiers had hidden Protocol Zero's shutdown codes in a quantum-encrypted network. The government had done the same with the Purge Protocol. Multiple hostiles incoming, Mary warned, her enhanced reflexes letting her fire with perfect accuracy down the corridor. Got it? Sam shouted. But we can only stop one protocol. The other will still launch. Kate's enhanced mind ran the calculations. Protocol Zero would destroy the solar system. The Purge Protocol would kill billions of enhanced and unenhanced humans alike. There was no right choice. The station shook as enhanced soldiers breached the lower decks. Through security feeds, Kate watched government forces deploy their final countermeasures. 3 minutes to Protocol Zero launch. Kate thought of her dead squad on Mars, of Jack's last words, of Claire's sacrifice, of the mysterious threat still approaching Earth. Everything had led to this moment. New contact. Act! Massive energy signature approaching from deep space. The station's sensors lit up. Something huge was decelerating toward Earth. The threat that Project Exile was created to fight had arrived early. 1 minute to launch, Kate made her choice. She slammed her hand onto the console, using her enhanced abilities to interface directly with both protocols simultaneously. Pain seared through her mind as she forced the systems to recognize her hybrid genetics. "Kate, stop," Sam yelled. "The feedback will kill you." "No choice," Kate gasped. "Have to give humanity a chance." She rewrote both protocols, redirecting their energy. Instead of destruction, she turned their power outward, creating a shield around the solar system. The pain was unbearable. Kate felt her enhanced abilities burning out, taking her life with them. But through the station's sensors, she watched her plan work. The protocols activated. A barrier of energy surrounded Earth and its colonies. The approaching threat, whatever it was, would find humanity ready. Kate collapsed as her enhanced systems failed, and normal human senses returned as she felt Sam catching her. "Did it work?" she whispered. "Yes," Sam said. "Hey, both protocols are disabled. The shield is holding." "But your enhancements are gone." Kate smiled weakly. "Maybe that's for the best." Time for regular humans to step up. Through the station's windows, she watched the shield shimmer around Earth. Humanity would face its next challenge together, enhanced and unenhanced alike. The secret war was over, so real war was about to begin.